Hey, Battle Buddies and Healthy Heroes. My name is Susie, not a professional, just an enthusiastic nerd. I am so excited to share another Scout's Point of View video with you. This time, you might see me take a paranoia effect. What does it look like when a scout gets paranoid and thinks that everyone's out to kill her? You'll find out. Special thanks to our friend Tab from Alliance Crossroads who came up with all of his fancy camera equipment so I could show you exactly what I'm seeing as my Cheetahkin character Uxue Nakujo. A scout is someone who can fight toe-to-toe but prefers to rogue around behind because when I am behind an enemy and I can hit their back, I swing stronger damage. So a lot of these point of view videos are a little strategic discussion about where I'm moving and why, what I'm looking for, how I get my openings. This is the Cinderfel event from September 24th of this year. We were tasked with purifying this corrupt library, but it wasn't a normal corrupt library. It was a fey corrupt library. So there's a lot of weird book monsters, this weird eyeball monster who can look into your brain, all while defending the front desk where we were delivering pages for them to solve a puzzle in order to complete the purification process. So here we go, entering this weird, corrupted fey library that we somehow have to purify. I am coming in a little left of the main entrance, and I already see these NPCs. They're portraying flying books in this magical library. We're all sort of creeping in as a group, some of us off to the side, some of us up the main path. There's a big eyeball monster. Kabibulin shackled him so he couldn't move his arms, and we just cut him down. I then got hit with an arcane pin. Brandy there with a white headband was throwing packets.
Sorry, I forgot to clarify. This place is also overrun with cobwebs.
Brian clarified for us that there are hazards in the atmosphere and we can rip through the spider webs in 10 seconds. So I got hit by those hazards and I yanked myself out of the spider web in 10 seconds. And the fight continues. There's Brian NPCing a book. We have Azareth the elf and Quincy the hobbling. I am not looping around to the right just yet because Vry the elf is making his way into that position, and other books, Frank there NPCing another book, are coming forward, so we're kind of in a line formation so far still. We're new to this area, we're exploring. I start walking farther back in the quote-unquote library here. The back shelves of the library are here in the woods, and there's an eyeball monster. Dustin throws something at me but misses, so I continue to advance on him with Joshua. Kabibulin already behind him. I get to chase him away.
18 silver. So sorry about that noggin. Bonk on your noggin.
But it was a fun chase. And now Kate is NPCing a book. Kabibulin and I are here at the back of the bookshelves, and we decide to engage her. There's a tree to my left, making it hard for me to circle completely. But this book is not a huge threat. It's one of the smaller crunchy monsters, and she goes down pretty quick. So I'm ready to look around for more. Figure out what's going on. I see Frank NPCing the book begin to fly off the shelf. And now he's threatening to throw a packet. I see him tuck his sword, and you'll notice that little tiny tree I am trying to keep between him and me. I'm positioning myself around it. It didn't work. The packet still hit me, but I had a spell shield. Joshua has maneuvered himself slowly around to Frank's back, and now Joshua and I are doing that circle tornado. Joshua creeping in slowly was really well done.
Do you have another spell shield, Joshua?
He also re-upped my spell shield for me, so I appreciated that one. And now we're looking for more enemies. PCs are getting confused because that eyeball fey monster is swinging amnesia.
Where am I?
There's books coming from the shelves, hey!
The web environmental hazard.
You got arcane webbed.
And there's a book. Saw the back and went for it. So at this point, I'm realizing that there are books all over the place, and it's called popcorning when NPCs
They keep coming out of the shelves.
come from random places.
We gotta get something out of the books and bring it back?
So Kabibulin explains that we're going to solve this problem in the library by getting pages out of the books to solve a puzzle. So that's now, we understand our objective. We have to search the books when we defeat them to find pages for the puzzle. Kabibulin's on the right, Joshua is on the left. He is very good at the slow roguing and the creeping in and the just walking into position. So Frank is there sort of between us, but I can't circle fully because Brian's on the right. However, Cabby has Brian's attention really well. I'm able to get a few hits in, and then once he drops, Cabby goes around, and we have that beautiful circle around Frank. Both of those books are dropped. We get their treasures. Oop. Looks like I got stuck in a cobweb again. Just gotta rip myself out there as I am going back to deliver what I found on the book.
It's dusty back there. I got this
to the desk up front where they are trying to solve the problem. I turn around, I see it back, and I go for it.
Somebody else search that. Tam, you got it?
I ask Tam the elf to take care of that search because I want to go back to the bookshelves in the back. That's more open,
What's your name?
more roguing possible back there. Erkun is there holding the attention with his shield in the front as a bunch of strong veteran rogues start coming in from the back. But we are really surrounding the books with good positioning when something awful happens. Paranoia by voice. Let me show you a different perspective. This is what she did. Backed up against a tree, disengaged from her fight, got herself in a safe position because she now thinks everyone is out to get her. She is paranoid. I took the paranoia effect. I think everyone is there to kill me.
I didn't swing anything.
It's very
I just
scary.
batted at you.
She will hiss at anyone who comes near. She will bat at people who come near. Paranoia is a roleplay only effect, which is super fun. You get to decide what your character would do if you suddenly thought everyone was out to get you. So she still wants to fight things, but she will not work with anyone else. She's scared of Joshua. She's scared of Cabby now, and she's looking at them fighting, but she doesn't engage until she knows she can get one by herself because, you know, at any moment Joshua might turn around and fight her too. So she turns around and hisses at anyone else who is close to her. And I spend a lot of time scouting around the battlefield trying to do things very much in an isolated way, being very paranoid of everyone around me. I consider going up to fight Kate, that book, but then I notice Vry is already fighting her. He's got a crossbow. He could shoot me at any second. I jump in only when his attention was distracted, but as soon as he gets too close, I whirl around and hiss at him. I hiss at all my other friends. I start getting hit by a bunch of different effects. And even the book snuck up on me. So I decide I'm going to try to go refit because I got a little bit hurt. So I see if I can find a safe spot. Listen to this.
Did you refit? No. Get.
I literally change my mind. I say, no, it's not safe here. And then I yell at an enemy, get out of the way. I'm too busy being paranoid. I see the back and I run up to it, but I backpedal away from my allies and Joshua sees what's going on.
Back up.
And he sees that she's paranoid. Let the PvP begin.
Do not.
Watch him sneak towards her.
Do not. That way.
Tam the elf notices there are enemies coming in.
Joshua, we've got bigger problems.
What?
We have several.
Trying to tell him to leave me alone, but he's determined.
8 silver. Do not.
Do you mind?
Back away.
I'm going that way.
Go that way. 8 silver.
Oh my goodness, and he slapped me with a purify.
I'm sorry.
My senses return, I apologize immediately, and I'm ready to run into the fight again. There's Cabby there's Erkun, and Joshua. They clearly have that one handled. I'm looking around to see what else I can fight. Poor Avalon is still scared of me. I have to apologize to her because I batted at her before. Now, I am about to use the skill Surprise Attack, which allows me to swing my rogue damage from the front when something is doing a 3 count. I come off the shelf 1, I come off the shelf 2. I heard him saying that, and I sprinted over to hit him with my strong blows before his 3 count finished. It was very satisfying. Drop another book, search its pages, deliver them to the desk, and keep looking around for enemies.
The worst part is that I just finished. Now I gotta fix my armor again.
I owe you something, Joshua.
I apologize again. Joshua does not owe Nakujo any kindness. She's very mean, but he fixed her. I see a handful of books coming in, and I start circling around the back. Regrettably unsuccessful. Frank noticed and turned around, and then Kate, very wisely, took a step back in order to engage me off the flank. And then Brian's positioning, so the three of them worked really well together as books to change their positions to accommodate for the fact that I had come in as a flank. Brian turned his back to me a little too much, however, and I cut him down. But at this point, I have to go refit now. The books outmaneuvered me there, honestly. The three of them moved really well.
I need a refit.
Arcane Strike Possess. Arcane Strike Possess. Dodge.
While refitting me, Joshua is threatened by an environmental hazard. Being possessed by the Fae in the library would be even worse than being paranoid.
Azareth, shield. Azareth, shield.
And Nakujo demands some extra defense so she can get her refit finished. She's not very nice. Thank you, Azareth.
I'm close to remembering. What is it?
Erkun is a newer player. He's my friend
Okay,
Cullen, but Nakujo doesn't know Erkun very well.
You strike stronger from behind?
And she's making the effort to introduce or to figure out who he is for strategic purposes. She's not very friendly, but she wants to know what he can do so she knows how to move with him. So even if you have a mean character like Nakujo,
No, I just got refit.
that information, those interactions can make for more successful battlefield strategy. So here we go. Erkun is holding the front, I see, so I'm circling around to the back. And this time I do get the jump on Frank. And Erkun and I have a little moment of circle action. There's Quincy, who's, by the way, been sneaking around phenomenally this whole fight. I turn around and Quincy's almost always there, quietly roguing.
It's important that you specifically remember what happened in the last hour.
I hear that 3 count. There's a surprise attack. Now something dramatic happens.
Spell shield, miss.
Oh no.
Got it.
I had thought that I had defeated him with the surprise attack. But Kate came in, hit me with spells. I had not defeated him.
That book was bigger than the other ones. Hey, thank you.
I actually got dropped, you guys. You know why? It's because I forgot my dodges.
He hit me with spells
I
first.
literally could have dodged those with skills, but I was so surprised. I just hit the ground. Thank you, Riddick. He fixed me, he healed me. And now Nakujo's angry.
Oh, I'm gonna kill one of these books.
I was in the middle of talking
Last time I did that.
when I hear them call for help up front, and I go running. That's where they need to solve the puzzle. That's the front desk. And so I see that they're getting beset by a big monster and a book. I creep around to get a good spot, and I jump in.
8 silver, 8 silver, 8 silver, 8 silver. 8 silver, 8 silver, 8 silver.
I did get a surprise on him, but I didn't get good positioning, so they're both still up. The big monster throws a spell at me. I have to use a spell shield. I see other people have come to the aid as well, and I need to back up, reposition. They actually seem like they're set pretty well up front there, once other people came to help them too. So I'm looking around for other options. I see Brian coming in with his crossbow. I engage Frank as well.
8 silver. 8 silver.
I have to go in and out between the trees to try to get around him.
Killing blow 1, killing blow 2, killing blow 3, monster slayer.
Oh yeah, now that I'm angry, I'm using my Monster Slayer sword. All these books are dying painful deaths.
Riddick, another spell shield?
Thank you, Riddick. Tragically, I missed my surprise attack opportunity as he rifted in right next to me.
Here comes the big one.
So I asked for support. Riddick steps in with his shield, and I start, laterally moving to figure out my positioning. That big one is handled, and it's a slow fight. I notice Cabby Bullen and Tam with a more open fight, so I run over to fight her.
Yeah, well, one of those books blew me up with 3 fireballs. I'm angry at all the books now.
I turn around, and that big Fey eyeball monster is still up. He's kind of threatening. He throws a lot of effects. But then I hear something. He's coming from the stacks on a 3 count. So I sprint over to him to get that surprise attack damage in. While they are 3 counting, I can swing the stronger damage that I normally need to be behind them to swing. I love surprise attack, you guys. So the book comes towards me. I notice Azareth going off to the right,
8 silver.
and I notice Rye coming in on the left, so my position is center. I sort of hold without any sweeping.
Cross like 30 meters.
20 normal.
8 silver.
And I see Kate come in as another book, but there's Quincy.
8 silver.
Again, doing the fantastic slow sneak.
8 silver.
Gets great positioning, drops the book.
8 silver.
I turn around and Azareth is squaring off on Kate. He doesn't have a partner, so now I'm on the left sweep position. Ryan has rotated to the right sweep position. In comes Quincy. His slow moving, really something to be said about that strategy. I'm obsessed with speed. I mean, I play a cheetah character, so clearly you might have figured that. But these people who understand the art of the slow creep to get into position, very effective. Evan is one of our younger players, too. So kudos to him. Evan plays Quincy.
Last I heard, we're still needing 1 page.
So now we have a good circle. Cavi Bullen makes really good positioning. And Joshua does a good job splitting the book and the big monster up. So now Dustin, playing the big monster, has been isolated off to the right, and we sort of, instead of being this big circle around 2 enemies, we're 2 smaller circles that can make tighter circles around the enemies. So Joshua and I have made a tight circle around Dustin, the big monster. Very, very effective. If you can split up the enemies and tighten up your circles, you'll cut them down a lot faster.
So whatever this is. Here you go.
My idea did not work.
Hey! We are no longer actively looking for pages. We're trying to figure out a puzzle. We can be defensive.
I checked in with the front, found out that we're not seeking to find any more puzzle pieces within the books. So our priority now changes to defending the front desk so they can do what they need to with the pages to solve that puzzle. So we don't necessarily have to go out and pursue as much, and they start coming to us.
Oh, those eyes are so uncomfortable.
There's that monster with all his eyes trying to get inside my brain.
You sure? 8 silver. You're swinging what?
20 amnesia is a huge number and damaging carrier. It would literally wipe an hour of your brain's memory out.
8 silver.
So Quincy sneaks in and throws a really strong elemental strike impressively. And then a hold is called because the puzzle is solved.
8 silver. You up?
Well done, everyone.
As the last catalog card is put into the proper place, all of the books in the library float up into the air and fly back onto the shelves where they belong. The Fae covered in eyeballs, all of the eyeballs recede. And left behind is a regular looking, old man looking Fae.
Nikujo's still pretty mad about that. He tried to get into her brain.
18 silver, 18 silver!
Wait, wait.
He's clearly innocent.
Okay, it's fine.
Wait, it's not the same. He looks different.
It's not staring into my brain anymore. Don't do that to people.
And Dorn gets a little angry at Nikujo for being so feisty. But she mellows out. She gets over it.
Thank you. Sorry.
He's clearly friendly and confused, poor guy. And that is how we defeated the library and purified it.
Visiting the library. Can I help you find any books?
We've had quite enough of your books lately.
Yes.
Here's a fun little tidbit for you. Could I have done anything about that paranoia effect I took?
Can you dodge elemental paranoia?
Well, if it's by voice, no.
Yeah.
Nope.
How can I stop the paranoia?
Unless you had the elemental shield on already.
Or,
Elemental by voice can't be dodged. Womp womp. Sorry to everyone I attacked. Thanks for watching.